a quien vi hoy radiante, espectacular, que no necesita nada, a nuestro presidente Donald J. Trump. Caballero, en la ONU lo que tiró. Ay, papitrón, lo que tiraste en la ONU, como corresponde, mi vida, porque es así. Porque es así, porque por eso votamos por ti, para que tú la tires como va, donde quiera que te pare, que le guste al que le guste y que no, que renuncie a su puesto en la ONU. Primero comenzó todo con que le pararon la escalera eléctrica al presidente cuando llegó junto a su comitiva, acompañado de la primera dama Melania. Bueno, pues estaba comenzando a subir la escalera eléctrica y de momento, llegó Levin Cava y paró todo, se detuvo la escalera eléctrica. Eso estaba fríamente calculado. Eso se lo hacen para joderlo. Eso se lo hacen para predisponerlo, para que llegue alterado, para que pierda el control. Pero Papitrón ha aprendido, hijos de puta. Papitrón ha aprendido. Y después llega al podio, lo presenta. Y cuando va a empezar y dice thank you very much, teleprompter out. Eso también se lo hacen a ver si ¿qué hizo Papitrón? Dijo, ay, la persona del teleprompter está en grave problema. Vamos, que yo voy de memoria. Quincán, caracán, canquero. La tiró. From the bottom of my heart. Se jodieron. Pensaron, dijeron, este viejo le quitamos el teleprompter, le quitamos la escalera, se va a frustrar, va a empezar a dar gritos, se va a poner malcriado. No, mi amor, Papitrón está allí representando a su país, representando a su pueblo. ¿Cómo tú crees que Papitrón va a hacer eso? Y si lo hace, bueno, pues bien hecho está. Yo lo hubiera hecho. Pero mira, por ejemplo, algún momento del discurso fantástico, fue 40 y pico minutos, casi una hora, que Trump se la tiró como va a todos estos países, a todos estos miembros de la ONU. Se la tiró en estéreo, sin miedo y sin anestesia. Mire para acá.
Not only is the UN not solving the problems it should, too often, it's actually creating new problems for us to solve. The best example is the number one political issue of our time, the crisis of uncontrolled migration. It's uncontrolled. Your countries are being ruined. The United Nations is funding an assault on Western countries and their borders. In 2024, the UN budgeted $372 million in cash assistance to support an estimated 624,000 migrants journeying into the United States. Think of that. The UN is supporting people that are illegally coming into the United States, and then we have to get them out. The UN also provided food, shelter, transportation, and debit cards to illegal aliens. Can you believe that? On the way to infiltrate our southern border. Millions of people came through that southern border. Just a year ago, millions and millions of people were pouring in, 25 million altogether over the 4 years of the incompetent Biden administration. And now we have it stopped, totally stopped. In fact, they're not even coming anymore because they know they can't get through. But what took place is totally unacceptable. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them and not finance them.
No puedo ni aplaudir. Te quiero, Trump. Desde el fondo de mi dolor te quiero. ¿Qué dolor tengo? Pero te quiero, papi Trump. Se la tiró. La ONU está para detener las invasiones, no para impulsarlas ni financiarlas. O sea, Trump fue a la ONU a decirles en su cara a todos que estaban destruyendo el mundo. Que las funciones para las que fueron creadas las Naciones Unidas ya no tienen sentido, porque esta gente está conspirando en contra del mundo libre, impulsando las agendas de la izquierda, las invasiones, la agenda woke y todo lo que sabemos está destruyendo los países, las naciones. Y Papi Trump, como no se parece a nadie, fue hasta allí a cantarle las 40, como se merece. Y creo que se quedó Se quedó corto. Fue muy políticamente correcto. Habló de cambiar las directrices de la ONU, de darle un nuevo sentido a la organización. Hay ahí otro fragmento. A ver, vamos a escuchar. Es cuando llega el teleprompter.
Wise in a period of just 7 months, I have ended 7 unendable wars. They said they were unendable. You're never going to get them solved. Some were going for 31 years, 2 of them, 31, think of it, 31 years. One was 36 years. One was 28 years. I ended 7 wars. And in all cases, they were raging with countless thousands of people being killed. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood.
Si el Jill se cae, todo el mundo.
And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. What is the purpose of the United Nations? The UN has such tremendous potential. I've always said it. It has such tremendous, tremendous potential, but it's not even coming close to living up to that potential. For the most part, at least for now, all they seem to do is write a really strongly worded letter and then never follow that letter up. It's empty words, and empty words don't solve war. Many years ago, a very successful real estate developer in New York, known as Donald J. Trump, I bid on the renovation and rebuilding of this very United Nations complex. I remember it so well. I said at the time that I would do it for $500 million, rebuilding everything. It would be beautiful. I used to talk about, I'm going to give you marble floors. They're going to give you terrazzo. I'm going to give you the best of everything. You're going to have mahogany walls. They're going to give you plastic. But they decided to go in another direction, which was much more expensive at the time, and which actually produced a far inferior product. And I realized that they did not know what they were doing when it came to construction, and that their building concepts were so wrong, and the product that they were proposing to build was so bad and so costly. It was going to cost them a fortune. And I said, and wait till you see the overruns. Well, I turned out to be right. They had massive cost overruns and spent between $2 and $4 billion on the building and did not even get the marble floors that I promised them. You walk on terrazzo. Do you notice that? As far as I'm concerned, frankly, looking at the building and getting stuck on the escalator, they still haven't finished the job. They still haven't finished. That was years ago. Millions of people came through that southern border just a year ago. Millions and millions of people were pouring in. 25 million altogether over the 4 years of the incompetent Biden administration. And now we have it stopped, totally stopped. In fact, they're not even coming anymore because they know they can't get through. But what took place is totally unacceptable. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them and not finance them. In the United States, we reject the idea that mass numbers of people from foreign lands can be permitted to travel halfway around the world, trample our borders, violate our sovereignty, cause unmitigated crime.
También habló de las guerras que ha evitado, de los pactos que ha conseguido y demás y demás y demás. Así que el presidente Trump se robó todo el día de la ONU para él. Nadie lo supera. Absolutamente nadie.